There's a version of making money that doesn't require you to be productive, motivated, or even particularly hardworking. Nobody markets it that way, because Lazy doesn't sell courses. But the truth is, some of the most consistent income methods online were built by people who are actively trying to do less, not more. Here's the myth almost every finance channel repeats: that making money requires hustle, discipline, and constant effort. That's true for some paths. It's completely false for others. Today we're breaking down 7 ways to make money online that require almost no ongoing effort once they're set up. Not because effort is bad, because most people quit before they realize effort was never the missing piece. Systems were. Let's start with the laziest of all 7, because it sets up everything that follows. Number 1. Selling digital templates you already have. If you've ever built a spreadsheet, a planner, a resume format, or a simple document you use for yourself, that file has value to someone who doesn't want to build it from scratch. This is the definition of lazy income. You already did the work, for yourself, for free. Selling it again costs you nothing extra. Here's the mistake almost everyone makes with this one. They think their template needs to be perfect, polished, and unique before anyone will pay for it. In reality, buyers aren't paying for perfection. They're paying to skip the time it would take to build it themselves. A slightly rough template that saves someone 2 hours is worth more to them than a flawless one that took you 2 weeks to design. Number 2. Affiliate links inside content you're already making. If you're already talking about products, tools, or services you use, whether in a video, a post, or even a simple comparison list, adding an affiliate link costs you 0 extra time. The lazy part isn't creating new content specifically to sell something. It's simply mentioning what you already use, and letting a link do the selling for you. Here's a number that surprises most beginners. A huge percentage of affiliate income online comes not from massive influencers, but from small, specific recommendations that answer one exact question a buyer was already searching for. You don't need an audience of millions. You need one honest recommendation, placed where someone was already looking for it. Number 3. Renting out digital storage or unused subscriptions. This one almost nobody thinks about, because it doesn't feel like a real business. But shared access to tools, storage plans, and subscription seats that already exist and are already paid for is quiet, consistent, nearly effortless income. You're not creating anything new. You're simply not letting existing capacity go to waste. Number 4. Print on demand without ever touching inventory. This is the laziest version of e-commerce that exists. You design something once, upload it to a platform, and someone else handles printing, shipping, and customer service. You never touch a single product. Here's the myth people believe about this one: that you need to be a talented designer. In reality, the best-selling print-on-demand products are almost always simple, text-based, and built around a specific niche audience's inside joke or identity, not artistic skill. Number 5. Licensing something you've already created. Photos, music, writing, footage, even voice recordings. If you've ever created content for yourself and never did anything with it afterward, that content likely has licensing value you're leaving on the table. This is money for work you already finished. The only task left is uploading it somewhere buyers are already looking. Number 6. Automated content repurposing. If you're already creating long-form content anywhere, that single piece of content can be broken into smaller pieces and distributed automatically across other platforms without you manually reposting anything. This isn't about creating more. It's about making one piece of effort appear in more places than you personally had time to post it. Here's the twist almost nobody realizes about this one. The repurposed clips often outperform the original content, because they're shorter, more specific, and easier for a new viewer to consume in a single sitting. The lazy version frequently beats the version that took more effort to make. Number 7. Building a simple tool or calculator that solves one specific problem. This one takes the most upfront effort of the 7. But once it exists, it requires almost nothing to maintain. A single-purpose tool that solves one annoying, specific problem tends to get used repeatedly, shared organically, and monetized through ads or a small premium version, all without you touching it again after launch. Now here's where this entire list gets misunderstood, and it's important to clear this up before you try any of them. None of these are actually lazy. They're front-loaded. The effort happens once, early, and then the income continues without repeating that effort every single time. That's a completely different thing than doing nothing. This distinction matters, because most people hear passive income and picture money appearing with zero work ever required. That version doesn't exist. What exists is work you only have to do once, instead of work you have to repeat forever. Here's the psychological trap that stops most people from ever finishing even one of these 7. They compare the size of the upfront effort to the size of the eventual reward, and because the reward feels uncertain and the effort feels immediate and annoying, they never start. But here's what almost nobody accounts for. The upfront effort for most of these is smaller than people assume, often just a few focused hours, not weeks. It only feels large because it's unfamiliar. Let's talk about which of these 7 actually makes sense based on what you already have, because picking the right one matters more than trying all 7 at once. If you already have documents, spreadsheets, or planning tools you use personally, start with number 1. It requires the least new work of anything on this list. If you already talk about products or recommend things to people, even casually, start with number 2. You're already doing the hard part, you just haven't been capturing it. If you have unused subscription capacity or storage sitting idle, number 3 requires almost no creation at all, just organization. If you have any interest in design, even basic, number 4 gives you a system that scales without inventory risk. If you have old creative work sitting untouched, photos, music, writing, number 5 turns forgotten files into ongoing income. If you're already creating long-form content anywhere, number 6 multiplies the value of work you're already doing. And if you enjoy solving a specific, narrow problem, number 7 has the highest ceiling of all 7, because tools compound in usefulness the longer they exist. Here's the mindset shift that ties this entire list together. Lazy income isn't about avoiding work. It's about refusing to repeat work that doesn't need to be repeated. Every method on this list follows the same underlying pattern. Do something once, structure it correctly, and let it keep producing value without needing your constant attention. Most people build their income the opposite way. They trade time for money every single day, forever, with no compounding effect at all. The 7 methods we just covered aren't magic. They're simply structured differently, so that effort made once doesn't disappear the moment you stop actively working. That's the real difference between people who feel exhausted by money and people who feel like it quietly keeps working in the background, even on the days they don't touch it at all. You don't need to do all 7. You need to pick the one that matches something you already have, and actually finish it, instead of researching all 7 and starting none. Because the truth about lazy income was never that it requires no effort. It's that the effort only has to happen once. Everything after that is simply the system doing what you built it to do.